Welcome to Two Dads Talking. Shh. I'm Logan Jordan. This is Daniel Russo. And this is just a platform where dads, guys, friends can just come together and talk about what's going on in the world and everyone's lives. Now normally our platform is going to be a platform of being zany, being fun, just being bros. That's what we are. And we just want to connect with other people out there, what we like to call other shit talkers. And and just see where life is, what's happening in your neck of the world, what's happening in your life. And we would love to make this a community of a place where people can celebrate their similarities more than what we do in our world celebrate our differences. Daniel, it's been a while since we've hung out. What's been up with you, my friend? What have you been doing?
Yeah, just got back from Los Angeles, California. Went to an awesome international film festival. It was an inaugural year, and met
Okay.
some really amazing people. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I'd like to, we're out here in Colorado, so first, I'd like to give a little moment of silence. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of, press and headlines. A week ago today, two major tragedies happened, in here in the United States. One being Mr. Charlie Kirk, but I think there's been so much talk about him and from so many different forums. But us being dads, me having two kids in high school, a junior and a freshman. I like just to give a little moment of silence for the Colorado students who haven't gotten the press, in my opinion, and the Colorado students that unfortunately lost their lives or that were affected by the shooting, here a week ago. So, Daniel, let's just bow our heads and give a quick moment of respect.
Also, and I would like to also add, I forgot her name, but the Ukrainian refugee that got killed on a bus, I believe, in South Carolina.
Ooh, I don't know if I heard about that one. But moment of silence for all those folks, Mr. Kirk and his family, and the Colorado students and the Ukrainian lady on the bus. Okay, thank you. So, in today's subject matter, I'd like to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I have lots of friends that are in different stages of their life and different stages of their relationships. Some are have been married for many years. Others that are still looking for their first at bat. To be honest, it's amazing how many friends you look up and they're still out there trying to get it right or trying to find their special someone. And I unfortunately I Daniel and I were recently talking, and he was talking to a buddy of his who who is now asking for information for a divorce attorney. And so I wanted to talk a little bit to Daniel and get your thoughts on, you've been married for a while, I've been married for a while, and
5 years this Friday.
oh, hey, congratulations. That's awesome. And I'm coming up on 17 years marriage, coming up in May.
Wow.
So, or March. Ooh, better get that right. Or else I might be looking for a divorce attorney.
Or the doghouse.
Just kind of wanted to get your thoughts, Daniel, on what in relationships, what does it take to kind of get to that space where you feel you might need a divorce attorney?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of my good friends, he's in Michigan, Metro Detroit area. He's been married for, gosh, 3 years now,
Okay.
2 or 3 years
All
now,
right.
and his wife basically put him on notice of, hey, I'm buying a house. We're moving out. We're moving from the city to the suburbs, and long story short, with that, she said, "Oh, by the way, I'm buying it. You're not going to be on the mortgage or the house, and my in-law and your or his in-laws will be, or her in-laws, sorry, will be moving in to the basement."
So the
Yeah.
wife comes home, informs this guy, I'm making a life changing move and buying a home. And we're moving over here, but you're not coming with. And on top of that, I'm having my parents move in with me, and
I mean,
instead of
you can come along, but that's what
oh,
she's telling him.
okay, so she's buying the house in her name, in her control, and her parents are moving in,
Yeah.
and you're welcome to join us if you want to, but probably most likely he won't. He probably doesn't get along great with the in-laws, and
They actually do.
this won't be comfortable for him.
This part actually they do get along relatively well. It's just he's not on the name, he's not anything. And not to mention he also turned a 15-minute drive to GM because he works in downtown Detroit. He works for GM, and he has to now turn into an hour and a half commute.
Oh, so she's making these life-altering decisions without even truly considering him because she's just telling him, "This is what I'm going to do."
And she's a stay-home mom.
And
Nothing against stay-home moms by any means.
No. Well, how's she buying the house? With the money that he makes, it sounds like.
Yep.
So she's using their family. I just want to make sure I hear you correctly. She's using their family resources.
Yep.
From the job that he provides.
Yep.
While she's a stay-at-home mother
of two.
Of two. And I'm buying this house. So we have good credit, obviously, for her to be able to go out and buy the house. And the good credit is due, again, to the job that he provides, the money and income, paying the bills on time, doing what's right, going to work every day. So she can have good credit, too, to buy the house. And I'm moving in, mom and dad, and we're moving out to the suburbs and making your job from 15 minutes away from the job when you're the sole provider to an hour and a half each way, to 3 hours worth of driving.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
How do you unpack that?
Well, I just said, you got to get your answers answered. You got to get your questions answered.
So what kind of questions so obviously he's upset by this. He didn't just sit back and take this lightly.
Right. And what he and I spoke about was, well, for example, for my wife and I, she and I are very communicative, like, hey, this is what I would like to do. Or she's like, hey, this is what I would like to do. We discuss it and we move forward with it. If it's a wrong decision.
A family decision.
Yes, it's all a family decision.
Right. If you make a wrong decision, you make it as a family. If you make a right decision, you make it as a family. You don't unilaterally go make decisions without consulting the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's similar how we do things in our household as well.
Yeah. And what I just recommended him was contact an attorney just so you know what your options are, because, it would hate for her to be like, hey, oh, by the way, I'm out. So that's one concern that he did have.
Well, I mean, it sounds like she's positioning herself to, if and when, she gets tired of him, and of course, the way my brain works, my brain goes all over the place. I'm looking at it as if she's only extending enough of the invite for him now, just so he can help her move. Someone needs to move that couch. How old are their kids?
They're a newborn and a 1 month or 1 year old.
Yeah, so they're not moving anything. Yeah. So, and I don't know how.
Correction, 2 months old.
Okay, well, they're babies,
right?
And I don't know how much support with her family. How if her dad has a strong back still and can get the other half of that couch or bedroom set, or
they're retired,
and all the rest. So it feels to me she's only keeping him around long enough to be able to make sure she gets settled, and then when he's no longer really needed from that perspective, she can go ahead and hit him for the alimonies, the palimonies, the child supports, and she could still probably be, depending on his income, she might still be able to be that stay-at-home mom. But now she's living out in the suburbs in a nice new house with her parents, and she's got built-in babysitters, and she'll probably be off dating on his dollar soon enough. Wow, that is
vacations,
crazy.
friends and who knows else what.
Well, and the thing is, I've had a few friends that, my dad, when he and his last marriage broke up, that's very similar what his wife came to him and said is, you know, uh, me and the kids that weren't his kids, but she put him in the position to help him raise them. Me and the kids are moving over here, and he's like, "Oh, we're moving." He's like, "Oh, no, we're not moving. We're moving. You are not coming."
Oof.
So this is something that you hear a lot of times, and to me, it just obviously hurts my soul because you never want to see a family break up. You never want to see, uh, your friend personally hurting out there and wondering what if and what do I do and we got these young kids and how's that going to affect my relationship with access to them.
Yeah.
It's a thin line between love and hate. These in-laws that he might be cool with as of today,
It's a whole nother ball game when you.
well, and the honest to God's truth is like, how cool are you really? Because if your in-laws are really down for you and if they really look at you as a son, they should be saying to their daughter, "Hey, this isn't cool. This, I mean, as much as we maybe would want, it maybe would help us and we would like to be more involved with the kids or more involved with you, or maybe we're not financially viable. I mean, my mother lives with my wife and I and our family, and and if she didn't, who knows what her living situation would look like. It wouldn't nearly be as comfortable as what my wife and I provide for her. But she's an amazing help with the kids and being around. I mean, there's we get a lot of benefit from her being with us as well, so it's not all one-sided. But I would think that if I were to tell my mother, "Hey mom, I'm gonna go buy a house over here, and and I'm leaving, and I'm gonna take the kids or whatever. You're gonna come with me over here." I think my mother would be like, "Oh, son, pump your brakes and are you sure this is a good idea? And maybe you should go talk to your wife and try to figure out what your differences are. Did your buddy explain to you what differences they were having? Like, what has gotten his wife to this point where she's making these drawing such a strong line in the sand?"
Well, they were starting to look at different townhomes and condos in downtown Detroit because I don't know if you know, downtown Detroit's an upcoming renaissance.
Oh my
It's
goodness!
a fantastic, beautiful city.
Yeah, they really have gentrified it.
It's like a whole renaissance.
It's a renaissance. That's one way
Yeah.
of putting it. But yeah, they've done a lot of work. And if
100%.
you were an investor about 10 years ago, you could get yourself some good property down there for next to nothing. So
Right, and that's what he wanted to get into. Was he currently works for GM, and he was looking into expanding into commercial real estate. And he's he'll be able to still do it, but now his commute just turned into 15 minutes to a whole hour and a half
one way.
because her parents live out in it's a town called Brighton, Michigan,
Okay.
and
Is that where they're moving to? Is Brighton? Is that where the wife wants to move to?
yes, Brighton or no, correction, South Lyon.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful city, a beautiful town. It's just
It's
a
just
long
not
drive.
convenient. It's just not convenient for his work. What kind of work does he do for GM?
He's an engineer currently.
Oh, he's an engineer.
Yeah.
Wow. So has he expressed to you anything that's been going on in the marriage between them? I mean, for her to make this strong of a stance and move and everything, I mean, obviously, life hasn't been puppies and kittens. What kind of things has he expressed to you that's going on that would make the wife want to make this kind of a stance?
Well, they want to expand the family. They want to keep the kids close, like in the gaps between each child.
So she wants another child on top of this.
Yeah.
So she wants 3 children.
Yep.
1 income.
Mm-hmm.
Moving from 15 minutes from his job to an hour and a half away from his job each way.
Exactly.
Is she planning on going back to work? What kind of work does she do?
So she is, I believe, a teacher.
Oh.
So she has to renew her licenses and everything like that, and then her teaching license, and then she'd be going back to school. So that's a good thing about it. But it's just the fact that he has to now drive 3 hours a day just to get to
What I
work to
guess I'm
home.
not understanding is why would she want to buy a house just in her name?
that's that's a question we're all asking. Like, what?
Well, if you're trying to have another child, which means I want to be further committed to this, I mean, connected to this man. I wouldn't say, almost said committed. I think that's the wrong C. Connected, meaning that when you have children, no matter how you have them, whether you're in a marriage, whether you are not in a marriage, whether it's a one night stand, 2 week fling, like with my oldest child, that's a whole nother story, which one day I'm sure I'll tell you on this show because nothing, my life's an open book. But you are forever connected to that individual. So, you know, what would make her to say, this is all I'm doing? I'm doing all these things if she feels her marriage is strong.
That's a good question. What he told me was their marriage has been okay, not great, not bad, but okay. They do communicate a lot. However, when there's things that she wants, then she gets secretive about it, and
Secretive or sneaky?
both.
Because there's a difference. I mean,
Both.
I know that I've heard of wives out there, opening up lines of credit or credit cards or taking out loans without talking to their spouses, and then surprising them with it when those loans have been spent and now the bills are due. And oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, but I took out a $50,000 loan, and now the bill is due. We got to add that into the budget when we're factoring things. So there's sneaky, and then there's or secretive. What does that look like for them? If he told you.
What I've heard from him was there would be times where she would be like, "Oh, I'll be back." It's like 7 o'clock at night. I'll be back, and she comes back at like 1 in the morning.
Where's she been?
Supposedly her parents' house.
I'll be back without telling him, "Hey, I'm going to mom and dad's."
Yeah.
And she comes in. What is she wearing when she says, "I'll be back"? What's she look like?
PJs, hoodie, that type of thing.
PJ's hoodie. I mean, she could be going to her parents, or she could be going to Netflix and chill somewhere. I
With
mean,
another boo.
well, very much. Yeah, I mean, like I
Just
said, it depending on, I mean, there.
not to mention there's been, according to what he told me, was there's been cologne smell that's definitely not his, and he's like, and then she's like, "Oh, that's a car freshener. That's from a car freshener that we."
Oh,
And then her car, and then he goes to her. I think she has a Rav4, a
okay.
Toyota Rav4.
Uh-huh.
It smells like cologne, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's air freshener."
Men out there, are you listening to this? Dads out there, are you listening to this? How many of you how many of you shit talkers out there can relate that have either this going on in your life, a life of a buddy at the job, your brother, a cousin, someone up the block, these women today, not all of them, I don't want to broad brush them. Because I get along better with women, I do men, have lots of amazing female friends. I'm sure we'll talk about a lot of them on here because a lot of them are looking for good men, like this sounds like this guy is. He sounds like a real good guy. But open your eyes, men. Oh, and women. I don't want to, because there's a lot of trifling dudes out there. A lot of guys on the DL and a lot of guys out there trying to, I heard a story on the way over here about a guy that I know, a guy from another state called me about a guy I know that lives, at a little bitty town not too far from me, that I did some business with at one time. And, supposedly when his wife went to visit her family in another state, this dude started, the house cleaner that's supposed to clean the house and leave. Apparently, she was there for a few days. If you understand what I'm saying, I mean, really getting under those, those tight areas that's hard to get to, trying to get them nooks and crannies. So, I mean, guys out here aren't any better than some of these women out here, but when your spouse or your significant other or even a buddy, like if you have someone in your life that's leaving you not breadcrumbs but bread loaves, and in this case I would definitely say she's moving you from, or she's trying to take your family and move an hour and a half away from the job. Bread loaf. She's saying, I'm buying a house using the good credit you've provided because you're the one working. And the income she's putting down on that house loan is your income. And saying, I'm only putting it in my name. Bread loaf. I'm leaving the house 7 o'clock at night when I have a newborn and a 2-year-old, which, it's been a while since I've had a newborn and 2-year-old in my life. And I love babies. So my wife would say, don't bring a baby around him, or else I'm gonna have to start running from him around the couch. He'll try to put another one on me. But I remember that 7 o'clock hour. There was there were some sacred hours from like 6:30 to about 8:30 that your friends and your family and your homies, knew, don't call the house. Don't stop by because it's going to be bath time. It's going to be feeding time. It's going to be talcum powder. Don't put talcum powder on the babies no more. They give them diseases. But back in the day, you powder them up, get them all smelling good, that new baby smell. You give them bath time. You're reading books and singing the lullabies and you're kumbaya. Shh, go to sleep, go to sleep,
Get your
go
nighttime
to
prayers.
sleep, little baby. And that baby, if you get him all, shh, baby's asleep, and you're just like, as parents, yes, keep that baby asleep so we can have a little time to ourselves or whatever. You get the 2-year-old, I'll get the newborn, or tonight you get the newborn, I'll get the 2-year-old. Your friends and family and people know, don't call between that 6:30 and 8:30 because they got their own family time. And she is saying to this man, I'll be back. I'm gonna roll out for a minute. I'll be back. And she's coming back at 1 a.m. Did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Bread loaf, bread factory. That's a whole Wonder Bread thing, right? I mean, and she comes back smelling like Old Spice or something musk.
Bod.
But I mean, I don't know all the new colognes. I do essential oils myself. I've upgraded, doing my own little essential oil thing. Better for the hormones and stuff. They say don't be using them colognes. They're hormone disruptors. But if my wife came home smelling like Paul Bunyan, John Henry, Russell Wilson or somebody, I don't know, whoever you think, if she come home smelling like dude and trying to pass it off as an air freshener. Now, when he went and checked her car, did she even have an air freshener in the car?
Nope.
Bread loaf.
Under the seat.
Under the seat.
There's nothing under the seat.
That song comes to mind. Listen up, man. I can't sing, but I like to. In the shower, I'll give you a concert. But it's, Kenny Rogers once said, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You better don't count your money because she's already counting it for you, buddy. She's got it down to the very cent of what you own, what you got, what you bring in, how she's probably been. You said something about being sneaky earlier, right? Or secretive. I bet she's got a secret account, and she's every time you bring in 100,
She's probably got $20 sneaking out that back door into that secret account just in case you decide, well, I'm staying here in Detroit. And she's like, I was hoping you'd say that, but you're still financing the house in what town?
In Brighton.
In Brighton. Woo! It's time to run. I wouldn't just be calling looking for answers. I'd be calling looking for solutions. This, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answers are blowing in the wind. I'm telling you, brother, you need to pray for your friend. You need to circle the wagons and come around him because, first and foremost, as men, we don't usually open up. We don't talk very much. We don't share our feelings. We don't share our insecurities. We need to do more of that, men. You need to get other men in your life or other people in your life that, really have your best interest at heart, that can come around you and love you and be supportive of you, and someone that you can be vulnerable in front of and that can be vulnerable back to you, and you both will protect each other in that and hold each other up in that and be strong for each other in that. You need to, circle those wagons together and help speak to this man and to his soul and to his heart, where, because he can't right now, the waves are so deep around him, he can't probably think for himself. You might have to help think for him. Now, with all that being said, I would be very, very cautionary. People know, if you hang around me enough, you'll know a couple things I talk about a lot. I talk about village, which in this instance is what I'm saying is you need to be a village to this man and come around him and support him. But also, I'll tell people all the time that one of my favorite songs is When a Man Loves a Woman. Not only because it's one of the most truest, realest songs, and I like the original version because that dude who wrote it, when he sings it, he sings from his soul, the pain that brought him to pen that song. But a couple things in that song, resonated with me at a very young age, and I remind people of this. So you have to be careful when you're coming alongside your friend that's hurting, because in the song says, when a man loves a woman, he'll put his best friend down. He'll drop his best friend or something to that effect if he puts her down. So you have to be careful because you have to understand this man still loves this woman. He doesn't necessarily want to see her go. He just hasn't come to the realization that she is probably already gone. She hasn't quite dropped that hammer on him. She's only dropping him the little bitty. She's trying to eat wing. You know how, like, when your wife is breastfeeding? My youngest son took it the worst. When mama said, okay, I'm done breastfeeding, this sucks.
Weaning them off.
When you're getting weaned off and eventually the breast just stops coming and that baby's looking around and he's trying to, depending on how old they get. I've seen some kids that are old enough to unbutton mama's blouse and unhook the bra and pop that bad boy out. I mean, some of them get a little too old. They should have been weaned a long time ago. But you see that look of confusion and horror when they realize I no longer get to suckle at that breast, so mom has to wing them off slowly to get them to that point where she just doesn't just shock the system all at once. Well, this man has been getting winged off slowly but surely. He hasn't seen he doesn't understand the clues that she's already been given him. And if he really looks back on it, and I'm gonna hip you guys, I mean, we don't have time today, but I'm gonna hip you guys and gals to something I developed a long time ago called the filter theory, but it really is perfect for an instant like this where you can start to look for yourself and start to see those potholes in your lawn well before they become potholes in your lawn. Or when you start to step in one, you recognize what it is where you're like, look, I don't want to step in a landmine and blow my leg off. I don't want, or if you do step in a landmine and blow the one leg off, you're like, okay, I blew the one off. I don't want to blow the other one off. I want to at least hop to where I want to go next. and not wheelchair it, or however you can maybe pick yourself up and drag yourself there.
Peg leg.
This woman has told this man everything he needs to know about his relationship. His in-laws, by not coming to, not by saying his defense, they should come to the defense of the family. They should be wanting to protect their daughter from herself and let her know and give her counsel to say, first and foremost, all that glitters isn't gold. You might get out here, like I've seen women that have divorced men that were sticking in there, and they maybe weren't perfect men, but they were maybe perfect in their imperfections. They were there. They were coming home each night. They were, bringing home a paycheck. They were, not hitting this woman or trying to step out on her with women, men, or, in today's world, others. There's something called furries out there. I've recently heard about it at my kid's school. I don't even know furry. This is crazy. I mean, every day I come home and learn something new from my teenagers, like, furries. But they don't need to, these in-laws need to be being an advocate for them. And if they're not being an advocate for them, and they're like only looking at like, yeah, we want to move in, this is going to help our lives, this is going to be better for us. You know what they're also saying? That she didn't tell him, girl, you don't need him. You already got what you need from him. You got 2 kids, which means 2 child supports. You get a 3rd kid, that means whatever this man makes, he's going to be living in a Cracker Jack box down. He's going to be an engineer at GE down there fighting over cardboard boxes with the homeless, because that's all he can afford, while she's living in the brand new house in Brighton.
I want to make a correction. It was South Lyon.
South Lyon, don't matter. Man on the moon. It don't matter. Beverly Hills to No Hills to Garden Hills to wherever, it don't matter. This dude's going to be living in a Cracker Jack box down by the river as an engineer, going to work every day at GM, and she's going to be living up in the air condition, feeling good, living good, hanging with her mama and daddy and saying, Mama and Daddy, I got a place to be for a while. You got the kids? And they're going to be like, go have your fun, girl. You put us in a new house paid for by him, and we just chilling. We'll put those kids to bed. We'll give them baths. We'll read them their stories, and then we'll put them to bed, and you can just go be free on this man's dime. Men out there, or women out there, if it's inverse, and your man is telling you, see you when I see you, and he's coming home smelling like, Chanel, or in this case, like Musk, or whatever the heck that, person on the other end of that line is wearing, and she's going out wearing her best fuck me pajamas, excuse my French, and a hoodie for Netflix and chill. Bread loaves. Bread loaves. Brother man, I don't know you, but I'm here to tell you, as one half of Two Dads Talking, shh. Love you, brother. Praying for you, brother. Praying for your family, brother. But I would not be looking for answers. I would be looking for solutions, because she's playing chess this whole time, and you've been playing checkers. And right now, you almost checkmated. Anything you want to add to that, Daniel?
Just know, man, I'm here for you. I'm praying for you. You got this. Stay strong. You'll get through this.
Hey, give us an update in the future as they come by. But if there's other men out there that are going through this, or if this has helped somebody else, first and foremost, we would like for you to leave a comment in the comment section. Please subscribe to our channel so we could bring more content like this to you. If there's something going on in your lives and that
you'd like us to, research or think about or give you our opinion on, please, again, leave that in the comments. We'd love to do more shows like this. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a lot more shows on fun and wonderful things that we're interested in and things that other guys out there will find interest in. But this was a great topic. This really needed to be, talked about, needed to be said. And again, we, for all the men and women out there going through similar situations that can relate to what this gentleman's going through, we just say we're praying for you. We're praying for your family, praying for those kids, those innocent kids, which we didn't talk about them, but the innocence of the children that will be affected. And those in-laws, if you see this, do better. Encourage your daughter to do better and to truly, really think about what she's possibly doing to her family. And is it really, whatever she's got out there going on, is it worth it? Because I've also seen a lot of times where the guys on the other side that are out there waiting for the Netflix and chill, it's cool when you're milking the cow. But when the farmer leaves the gate open and the cow wanders over into your yard full time, and you got to pay for the food, pay for the vet bills, pay for the labor to milk the cow and all that. And when the milk ain't just for free and on somebody else's dime, and it's now your responsibility, that cow, it might just look like a cow. It might just be something in your lawn shitting all over the place that you got to go out there and pick up that shit now, which that guy used to do. It might not be nearly as fun. So if you're the guy on the other end that's helping promote breaking up this family, you need to do better too. On that note, I'm Logan.
I'm Daniel.
Two dads talking. Shh, we out.